Here, Coach, this past weekend you opened conference play in Portales, taking a win over Eastern New Mexico in a very weather-affected game. Just talk about what you saw from your team in the opening conference game last Saturday.
Yeah, I think we played well at times. You know, we did. The weather affected it. I mean, not so much the weather as like the delay. You know, you're sitting in a locker room for 2.5 hours trying to, in a lightning delay, and so that takes its toll on you. You know, keeping the guys hydrated, keeping the guys fed. Again, there's not a whole lot of air conditioning in those locker rooms and that kind of stuff. So that part was a challenge, but our guys stayed focused in there. You know. We started off well. You know, we were up 17-7 for the delay, and had a good couple of offensive drives, had a couple turnovers that we took the ball away from them, and then had a surprise onside kick that we schemed up throughout the week that we felt that was something we wanted to do, and hit that right before and got a field goal out of it. So, you know, we had some good things going, but, you know, the weather, when you get into lightning delays, you know, when you get back on the field, you just try to get the game over with. You really do, and the field conditions were rough to say the least. So overall, a win's a win. You never apologize for them. You want to play better, but I'm proud of the way the guys fought through the adversity and got the win.
And walk me through a little bit more about the 2.5 hour delay. Just what was that like, and how are you guys able to stay composed and then go out there and resume and get the win?
I think it's the leadership with our players. You know, they stayed focused in there. I mean, guys usually put their headphones on, listen to some music, and Coach Connor did a great job, our strength conditioning coach, of getting our guys, stretched and keeping them hydrated, and every so often we were taking them and doing some stuff with them in the locker rooms and stretching them out and stuff. So just leadership on that part with our players, and having a plan. You know, we've talked about it a little bit. We've seen this before. You know, we had it last year where we had to sit up at Hayes and wait, and the difference was last year we didn't start the game. This year we had started it. So, just making sure they're as comfortable as possible, and when it's ready to go, you get out there and go.
And overall, what makes this offensive scheme so good or so successful that you can see success just as much with a backup quarterback?
You know, Caden's a good football player. You know, I think he'll be the first one to tell you he didn't play his best game out of it. But at the end of the day, he's really talented, and our guys did a good job of adapting to the weather. You know, that's something at Angelo State we've said from day one when I became head coach. I mean, I want to be able to run it, I want to be able to throw it, and you got to be able to do both. And if you can do both, it's hard to defend, and then you can play into conditions like you saw. There was nobody that was going to throw the ball a lot on Saturday, especially in the second half of that game. The field, I mean, it was like literally walking on a waterbed. I mean, there was patches of water pushing the turf up. I mean, it was that wet. So you had to run the football, and we did that, and effectively to win a football game. And I'm proud of our guys for doing so.
And on the defensive side of the ball, specifically, what is defense doing to not only replicate last year's success, but even exceed that this year?
You know, I think it's just staying consistent to what we do, and we haven't changed in the scheme that much. You know, we've got a lot of new guys running it on defense, but just staying consistent in what we how we attack a football game, and that week of preparation leading up, because each week's different. You know, the week before, Emporia State threw the ball 60 times. Well, we saw 61 running plays by Eastern this week. So it was a handful on that to get things switched. But again, our offense prepares us for that when we go against our offense, because we both run and throw it. So that part of it goes hand in hand. But just proud of the way they keep on preparing and adapting to different schemes that we're going to see and play what we do.
Coach, it seems like even the environment was against your defense this time. It seems like even the wet field would work in the Eastern New Mexico scheme. What does that say about that defensive unit, knowing that no matter what's against them, that they can step up and get the job done? Yeah,
there's no doubt. I mean, we knew they were going to get the run and out of it. So our guys were loaded up for that, and they had some success late in the game on some stuff that they do, and they change all their blocking schemes and do different things. And Coach Kelly there, he does a great job. I mean, in changing schemes and stuff like that. So, I'm proud of our defense for adapting and continuing to find different ways to slow things down. I mean, they'll block the same play 3 or 4 different ways depending on what you're doing, out of the triple option, out of the veer, out of the belly play, and stuff like that. So we had to keep adapting, and of course, the second half we didn't have any sideline video and that kind of stuff because it went out because of the weather. So, we're not seeing how they're changing their blocking schemes from play to play or from series to series. So we're kind of just adapting on their own. But, again, proud of the defensive guys. We knew that they wouldn't come out and try to throw it a ton against us, so we could play the run a little bit more aggressive. But when they did throw it, we were pretty good on that part of it too. We gave up a couple completions, but end of the day, that's triple option football. You're gonna, as long as you don't get beat on something vertical over the top, you're gonna give up a few things in the pass game, and we gave up a little bit, but nothing severe.
Let's talk about a phase of the game that we don't talk about much. Special teams is a huge factor in this one.
It was.
Yeah, kept the momentum with y'all, including that touchdown.
Yeah.
Just talk about that unit.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we talked about it before the game. We said, like, there's too many good athletes on this kickoff return team not to, bust a big play, score, but get a return out across the 50. Those are the types of things that we feel like, if you look at our front line, the guys that are going to block, you're talking about, really good athletes up there and taking care of getting the things blocked. So we needed to make an emphasis on this week in that practice of blocking better up front. And Zeke ended up picking the ball up. It was a squib kick. They tried to squib it in the weather, and he picked it up and kind of took charge there. It probably should have been the other kick returner's ball to pick up, but he ran over there, picked it up, and he hit the thing on the back side of the return and went 88 yards for a touchdown. We had it blocked up on the play side too, so I felt like either way he went, we had a chance to get a big play out of it. But he's special fast when he can really run. So when he gets in the open, it was over. He crossed the 50 and it was over. Nobody's going to catch him. So really proud of him on kickoff return. Our kickoff team was good. I thought our punt team was great. We punted the ball well, and they brought some different schemes to block a punt because we had one tip the week before. So of course, when that happens, you open a can of worms every week now. You're going to get a new scheme, but our guys did a great job at that. And then the onside kick that we had right after the kickoff return, that was huge for us. We saw something on film and executed an onside kick. And anytime you take away a possession from an offensive scheme of a triple option, that's great because they usually hold the ball for 3, 4, 5 minutes, on the average. So we got to make sure limiting their possessions and taking one away from them was huge on that onside kick, and it was executed well. And
finally, Coach, when you have, looking forward to next week, whenever you have a delay on top of a road trip, that's got to be draining for those guys. How do you go into the next week preparing? Hey, we got to get ready to play again. We got to get our minds right and focused. So what do you do with that? Good thing about what we do and how we've been doing this is we give them Sundays off, minus the getting in to get treatment, so they can rest a little bit. We didn't get back in town until probably about 7:30 in the morning. So giving them some time off to kind of get caught up and those type of things. Today we'll watch film with them and kind of watch our game from Saturday. But that's how we do it. Just give them some time to relax and get the treatment they need. And we'll have them back on the field this afternoon too. But it's hard. It really is. It's hard to do that with those type of trips. Realistically, we probably could have been home about 2 in the morning and turned in about 7:15, 7:30 on that one after it's all said and done.
Coach, talk to me about your defense forced a lot of fumbles, but I don't think anything was bigger than the chase down fumble in the second half by Eugene Liger. Talk to me just about that play in general, knowing that they got you a little bit vertical there, and then him was able to run him down.
Well, it was a run play. It was actually a belly play where it just squirted through, and again, that happens when you run it 61 times. You're going to have to tackle some guys, and Eugene can really run. He can go. So he great effort play by him, getting down there, stripping the ball out. We picked that up and get a few yards coming back and that kind of thing. Again, any type of turnover is huge in a game, but again, when you play a triple option team and you can take the ball away, which we did several times on Saturday, that eliminates their opportunities with the football. And time of possession in those type of games usually goes against you, and I feel like we were pretty good with time of possession.
And then talking about Chad Ferris, obviously came here as a quarterback for y'all. I had a little split system with him involved, and now being a full-time running back for your rotation, able to get a couple touchdowns on Saturday. Talk about his performance and just what a transition like from quarterback to running back has been like for your team.
He's been great. He's put the work in the weight room. He went from about 205 to about 230, and playing running back at that level or that weight and stuff like that. He's a powerful running back, and he can still really run. We didn't have plans to come in and run him as much as we did out of the quarterback position out of it, but the weather dictated that. And you know, we had a injury at the tight end position, so we had to do a few things there. So end of the day, you know, Chad's so valuable to us because he's so versatile in what he can do. I mean, he can throw it out of that stuff, but we're not going to ask him to do a ton of that kind of thing. But very valuable player, and he's just a tough kid, and he's you'd take 100 of him.
And then the last question, obviously on Saturday, welcoming in Western New Mexico. What do you expect from that matchup?
I think they're going to throw the ball a lot again. They had this past weekend. I think there was over 100 plays on offense by both teams. I mean, I think it's one of those deals. I think against the Highlands game, I think there was 400 snaps in that game or something like that between offense, defense, and special teams. So they're going to try to throw the ball and get the ball out. And they're capable of running it. They do some things there too. So, but I think they got some special receivers. I think their redshirt freshman quarterback can really throw the football and does a good job extending plays. So we'll have to keep him under wraps with it. We'll see. I mean, it's just kind of wait and see what their game plan is coming in. But we're anticipating the ball getting put in the air quite a bit by him.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Coach.
guys.